So, you've decided you're done with traffic, taxes, and your annoying neighbor Gary. You're moving to Antarctica. Bold choice, absolutely unhinged. I respect it. But before you pack your flip-flops, wait, actually, definitely don't pack flip-flops. There are a few things you seriously need to know. Stick around, because some of these facts are going to completely change how you think about the most extreme place on Earth. Fact 1. Nobody actually owns it. Let's start with something that'll break your brain. Antarctica is the only continent on Earth with no government, no country, and no official owner. Thanks to the 1959 Antarctic Treaty, signed by 54 nations, the entire continent is basically a giant no-man's land dedicated to science and peace. So yes, technically, you can't legally move there as a citizen of Antarctica, or because it doesn't exist. You're welcome. Fact 2. It's a desert. A really, really cold one. Antarctica is actually classified as a desert. Not a sandy one, but the driest continent on Earth. Most of the interior gets less annual precipitation than the Sahara. The Sahara! The place we all agree is a desert. So if you moved there hoping for snow days, hate to break it to you, the snow that is there just doesn't leave. Ever. Fact 3. It's also the windiest place on Earth. Oh, but don't worry, the lack of precipitation is made up for by katabatic winds. That's winds that can hit over 190 miles per hour. For reference, a Category 5 hurricane tops out around 157 miles per hour. So Antarctica casually one-ups hurricanes on a Tuesday. Great, fine, totally fine. Fact 4. You need permission to visit. You can't just show up. Antarctica isn't a country, but you do need permission from your home government to go there. Most people who live there are scientists stationed at research bases, and they go through rigorous medical and psychological evaluations first. Yes, psychological. Because spending a winter in darkness with the same 10 people will test you. Fact 5. There's no permanent population. Despite having research stations that have been operating for decades, 0 people permanently live in Antarctica. The stations host anywhere from 1,000 people in summer to around 300 die-hard scientists in winter. No hospitals, no schools, no pizza delivery. This is not a place you raise a family, my friend. Fact 6. The coldest temperature ever recorded was here. The coldest natural temperature ever recorded on Earth was at Antarctica's Vostok Station, minus 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit. That's so cold that if you threw a cup of boiling water into the air, it would vaporize and freeze before hitting the ground. Your phone would die in minutes. Your eyelashes would freeze. Your breath would freeze. So yeah, dress in layers. Fact 7. The sun doesn't set for months. If you moved to Antarctica in summer, you'd experience something called a polar day, where the sun never sets. We're talking 24 hours of sunlight for months. Sounds amazing until it's 2 a.m. The sun is blazing through your window, and your brain refuses to sleep because evolution never prepared us for this. Sleep masks. Lots of sleep masks. Fact 8. And then it's dark for months too. The flip side? Polar night. During winter, the sun disappears for months. Complete darkness. Around the clock. For up to 4 months, depending on how far south you are. Studies show this causes something called winter over syndrome. Irritability, depression, memory issues. Researchers basically have to be mentally screened specifically for how well they'll handle not seeing sunlight for a third of a year. So, Gary with his leaf blower suddenly doesn't seem that bad, does he? Fact 9. There's actually an ATM. Here's a fun one. McMurdo Station, the largest research station in Antarctica, actually has an ATM. There's one cash machine on a continent with no stores, no shopping centers, and nowhere to spend money. It gets refilled once a year, by plane, from New Zealand. I have more questions than answers about this ATM, and honestly, that's how I like it. Fact 10. Your appendix might be removed before you go. This one's real, and it's wild. Some research stations are so remote that if you had a medical emergency, evacuation could take days, or be completely impossible in winter. So some programs have historically required researchers to have their appendix removed preemptively. Because nobody wants to deal with appendicitis at minus 60 degrees, 3 days from the nearest surgeon. It's elective preventive surgery. Just to go to work? Let that sink in. Fact 11. There are mountains under the ice. Antarctica isn't just a flat sheet of ice. Under that 1.5-mile thick ice layer lies an entire hidden landscape. Mountain ranges, valleys, and lakes. Lake Vostok is a freshwater lake the size of Lake Ontario, buried under more than 2 miles of ice. Scientists have been drilling toward it for decades, hoping to find microbial life that's been sealed off from the world for millions of years. Which is either incredibly exciting or, incredibly, this is how horror movies start. Fact 12. There's a waterfall that runs blood red. Blood Falls. Real place, real name. In Taylor Glacier, there's a waterfall that pours out bright red water, like something out of a biblical plague. The explanation is actually cool. It's iron-rich salt water from an ancient trapped lake below the glacier, and when it hits oxygen, it oxidizes red like rusty water. Still looks like the continent is bleeding, but science says it's fine. Fact 13. Penguins have zero fear of humans. Penguins in Antarctica have never been hunted by land predators, so they have no evolutionary reason to fear humans. They will walk right up to you, stare you in the face, peck at your boots. Scientists have to be careful not to disturb them. But the penguins? The penguins do not care. You're in their house now. Act accordingly. Fact 14. The ice holds 70% of the world's fresh water. Antarctica holds about 70% of Earth's entire freshwater supply, locked in ice. If it all melted, sea levels would rise by roughly 200 feet. Every coastal city on Earth would be underwater. The entire map of the world would change. Which is one big reason why what happens to that ice sheet actually matters to everyone on the planet, even the people furthest from it. Fact 15. People have been born there. And finally, yes, people have been born in Antarctica. The first confirmed birth was in 1978. Emilio Marcos Palma, born at an Argentinian base. Argentina reportedly sent a pregnant woman there strategically to establish a territorial claim through birth. It didn't work, legally speaking, but Emilio holds the record forever as the first human born on the continent. So technically, you could move to Antarctica and start a family. Nobody said you should, but you could. So there you have it. 15 facts that prove Antarctica is simultaneously the most extreme, most bizarre, and honestly kind of most fascinating place on the planet. Could you move there? Technically, kind of, maybe, with extreme preparation and government backing. Should you? That's between you and Gary, honestly. If you enjoyed this video, smash that subscribe button. It's warm down here in the algorithm, I promise. Drop in the comments. Which fact shocked you the most? I'm betting it's the appendix one. It's always the appendix one. See you in the next one. Stay warm. Seriously.